bench, cut, start, Sonnett, me, Christy.
Start Christy, bench Sonnett, cut Rose. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of the Women's Game. This episode is presented by Carmax. As the marquee partner of Gotham FC, Carmax is committed to driving the game forward season after season. Carmax wishes Gotham FC good luck in Wednesday's historic match. Want to drive? Carmax. I am so pleased to be joined by two stars of the Global Women's Game World Cup winners, Olympic gold medalists, reigning NWSL champions, and two of my very best friends. It's Gotham FC's Rose Lavelle and Emily Sonnett. Hello, girls. Welcome back to the show.
Woo! Thanks for having us.
Hey, oh, Sam. My goodness. This is so special. I believe this is your third time being here with me together. Some of them have been in person. Each and every time is an experience, but for me, it's like bring your friends to work day.
Yeah, no, we're really happy that you asked us, and honestly, it was an easy yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys know what they say. If it's not a hell yes,
it's a hell no.
But
we are excited that you keep inviting us back, despite maybe some not our best performances on the podcast previously.
Well, today is a new day, and today could be our very best one yet. So let's start with my visit to New York a few weeks ago. I was there hanging out with both of you, and there was so much energy in the city. I personally, as the country girl that I am now, I was kind of overwhelmed, but just the whole US has soccer fever right now. New York feels like the epicenter of all of that excitement, which is why I could not be more psyched for the Queen's Classic presented by Carmax. On July 15th, we're getting a rematch of last year's NWSL final between the Washington Spirit and Gotham FC at Citi Field in front of more than 30,000 fans, which will be a record for a women's sporting event in New York City. How are you guys feeling about the game? Are you so excited?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Same.
I think it'll be my first in a real baseball stadium. Obviously, I think Seattle played forever in
I did play in a baseball stadium for a year.
But I think how many tickets have already been sold. There's a lot of hype behind it, and the team's really excited to play.
That's awesome. I feel like we did play one time with the national team. I feel like it was in St. Louis in a baseball stadium, and I do think it brings kind of a unique energy.
Yeah, I've always been fascinated when I look at a baseball stadium, how you can fit a soccer field on that.
Right?
Yeah.
Mathematically, we have questions, but I'm very excited. I'm actually coming. I'm going to be there in person cheering you guys on. I can't wait. I'm curious what it means for you guys as players, but also for your club to have partners like Carmax who are really enthusiastic about creating new, exciting opportunities like this and empowering an already championship winning team to just keep growing, keep being creative, and keep succeeding.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just goes to the investment in women's soccer as a whole right now. I think it's been such an exciting past couple years seeing people really buy into women's soccer and women's sports in general. And I think it's been great to have partners like Carmax be able to put so much into our game and help us keep advancing the sport in different ways and bring more visibility to it. So yeah, I think we're really grateful and excited for this game and for the partners who are helping make this game possible.
Wow. I also think the timing of it, just like you said, the energy in the city with not one all the World Cup games, being able to sell all these tickets and kind of feed off that buzz, I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I know. I feel like the NWSL can really capitalize off of this soccer surge in America. I'm curious if you guys have been doing anything special to prepare for this game.
Obviously, we did a little promo there.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
We went to see around and get a little taste of what Citi Field is about.
So this is the first time that you'll be facing the Spirit this season. So it's your first matchup since the final. Sonnett, the Spirit Gotham matchup is turning into one of the NWSL's most exciting rivalries. How does that rivalry feed into the anticipation around this game?
I think every time we play Spirit, there is a lot going on. The game's really good. I think having two incredible rosters. Again, that's the competitiveness just from player to player. I think of me and Trinity Rodman. I think of both teams really wanting to win. Obviously, both teams doing well in the playoffs the last couple years puts a lot of emphasis, I think, on this game. I think, again, just bringing it back to being in a great spot to play with tons of fans there, I think it's
Mhm.
going to make it even better.
Yeah. Rose, I know you scored the winning goal against the Spirit in the championship last year. You're obviously no stranger to stepping up in some of the biggest moments. When the pressure is on, how do you quiet the noise and actually take that as an opportunity to perform your best?
I always say it's like you don't want to get too high on your highs or too low on your lows. So like my goal is to make even like big moments feel like normal moments.
Mhm.
I think that's just kind of like maybe the mental performance part of it. Sorry, I don't know if that's a great question or answer, but
I think that was a great answer. And I feel like I've heard you say that before, so it feels very honest. So thank you. Sonnett, you were one of the league leaders in defensive stats last year, playing almost every minute of the season and being essential to neutralizing Spirit's attackers like Trinity Rodman, who you just mentioned, and is also one of your U.S. national team teammates. I know that you're used to going from being teammates to opponents as you go in and out of national team camp, but how does facing off against another ultra competitive player like Trin that you're really familiar with actually demand the very best from you?
Trinity is an incredible player, pace, skill. She's obviously really passionate. She brings it every single time. I really do think about how our defensive unit, everyone is honestly really working together. It's not just going to be my performance. I really enjoy the defensive unit that I work with. We are constantly giving feedback, like so we can all step up for bigger moments against bigger players. Being able to be in front of our fans in a really awesome stadium. I know I keep bringing up the environment. I think will be maybe the difference maker, but really having that energy to feed off of. Again, playing against bigger players.
Yeah, I know there's nothing like the home energy as well, which I feel like will really have you guys back in this game. Gotham won the NWSL Championship in 2023 and then again in 2025, making the club, in my opinion, the most dominant team of this kind of new era of the NWSL. But way back years ago, Gotham, which was formerly Sky Blue FC, was one of the NWSL's founding teams. They played their first matches way back in 2013. They used to play at Rutgers in front of just a few thousand fans. When you guys think back to your own early days in this league, I think I was 2015 when I started, Sonnett was 2016, Rose 2017. In that time, what feels like the biggest change that you've seen in the league?
I think about facilities and where we're playing. I know you just kind of mentioned like from the honestly from it's just Sky Blue playing at Rutgers to now. I think that's the biggest one, and then just so many more fans are coming and they're enjoying that game day experience. And hopefully they really like the product and they keep coming back.
obviously the like externally what everyone sees is obviously like the investment and like bigger crowds and all of that. I think like internally within the organization, like staffing and being able to like have a full comprehensive like front office, coaching staff, medical staff, like all of that, I think has also been like a huge growth for every team and like allows all of the players to be like that much more supported and make the product on the field that much better. The other thing I just thought of was like after 2019, I remember my first game back with when I was on the Spirit was away at Rutgers against Sky Blue. And just to think like even coming off the back of a World Cup and we're playing at Rutgers to like now fast forward, what was that, 7 years?
Oh my God.
Goodness. 7 years later, now
Wow.
like having the opportunity to play in front of 30 plus thousand fans at Citi Field, I think it's like there's been so much growth and it's really exciting to see. And like obviously we see the number, but so much has gone into like getting it to that point, and so many people have put so much work into that. So I think it's like it's really exciting and special to be a part of.
Yeah, I think Gotham is actually a really good case study for looking at all of the changes and growth in the league as a whole. It feels like Gotham has really reinvented itself again and again to match the growth of the game here. Obviously, they were like an original team in this league, but early on, they didn't have a ton of on-field success. They had never reached an NWSL championship. But then in 2022, the team kind of did that first reinvention of itself, changed its name, got some new owners, investors, sponsors, including our friends at Carmax. And the change was visible in the results on the field. The very next season, Gotham reached and won their first ever NWSL championship. Then the very next season, you both joined the team. Rose, when you were having those conversations considering coming to Gotham, what kinds of things did the club tell you about its goals and what it wanted to accomplish for itself and for its players.
They were kind of like visionaries. I think they had such big goals for the club, not just with the roster they wanted to put together and like with the success they wanted to build for the next year coming off a championship, but also just like 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. And I think that's something to really like, it's something that's really exciting to want to like be a part of and very enticing because like while we all want to have immediate success, I think it feels really special to be a part of something that's building towards like sustained success, and to get to be like a small part of that growth, I think was just a really exciting thought in coming here.
Yeah, I think that year that you both signed, Tierna and Crystal Dunn signed there as well. I think it was a huge step in Gotham's growth process. A big part of Carmax and Gotham's partnership isn't just growing the game for the players, it's growing it for the fans with pre-match fan fest, community clinics, and even partnerships with WNBA. Sonnett, how does it feel to share the growth of the game with the fans, some of whom have been there since those really early days when the club was in a different place?
I think about just playing against Sky Blue, like for years, and seeing, maybe not a lot of people were coming. Now being a part of a group, a really talented group, we've, really, we have 2 season ticket holder events a year, and, the amount of people that are showing up every game, and you kind of see the same fans like every single time, like you kind of know where their seats are. But I do think that growth really speaks a lot to, one, our front office who we're getting to, be on the team, but also the product that we're putting on the field and the game day experience.
Yeah. Well, I think that this Queen's Classic game is coming right at one of the most exciting parts of the season. We're just about halfway through. We've seen some incredible goals, upsets, and some big moves, trades and transfers, including Gotham signing 5-time Ballon d'Or nominee and 3-time NWSL Golden Boot winner, Australian Sam Kerr. There is something about one of the greatest players in the world who, yes, is my sister-in-law coming back to the NWSL at this moment for this big game and this club that is only getting stronger and stronger. How do you guys think investment in a player of this caliber signals to players and fans alike that Gotham is really serious about winning and growing as a club?
It's like to be the best, you have to like obviously recruit the best. The roster we've been able to put together, I think like shows to everybody, like externally, internally, like really what this club is like pushing to do. Obviously, like from a player standpoint, I always think of like the stronger the roster is, it's like that's an opportunity every single time you get to train. Like you get to go up against these incredible players and like learn and be challenged by all of these like great players and a great roster. So I think it's like very exciting from that standpoint of just being like, I'm in an environment where I'm going to get pushed every day from some of the best. Do you have anything to add?
No, I think the seriousness of like having that competitive roster, but then like even matching that roster, like us getting an incredible new facility, for training facility. I think, not just like doing something quick, but it being very purposeful, how it's going to fit the players now, the players in 10 years, I think is really important. And I think that investment on like the back end, like you get talent and then putting that back into our day to day, I think just adds to it.
Yeah. I think for like a while, just with the league being like new and the growth of the league, I think you're starting to see the shift with like a lot of teams of just like there's this like long-term vision in not just like building a roster, but like building, like you said, like the facilities, the team behind the team, all of the support that goes into long-term success. We've seen that with Gotham. I think it's like something that is continuing to be like something that a lot of NWSL teams are continuing to like grow into, but I think it's been really exciting being on the inside and seeing all of the different things that like ownership is doing to like continue to help make this environment be world class.
Speaking of long-term success, Rose, at the Queen's Classic, they're giving away a bobblehead of you and Wilma. And it honestly looks really good. You've got the jersey, the pre-wrap. Wilma's right next to you. What was you guys' reaction when you saw that?
I love Wilma so much. I think she's so cute. She's like the star of the show. I'm so happy she's on that. Like I might just like chop her off and keep her. Or chop Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
cut
Cut me off.
I knew.
Wilma.
I knew what you meant. Okay, well, I can't wait to get my hands on one of those bad boys. All right, before I let you go, you guys, I have one more thing to ask from you. It's a little game. It's sort of a summer road trip themed game. We're calling it the Road to the Queen's Classic, presented by Carmax. It's a little complicated, as these games are. I'm going to give you guys 3 things, and then you have to tell me whether you would start, bench, or cut them.
Okay.
So we're going to start with road trip snacks. Start, bench, cut. Chips, candy, jerky.
Bench jerky. Or sorry, cut jerky.
Cut.
What kind of jerky?
Beef.
I'm going to start chips. And whatever one I can't remember, that's a bench.
Bench.
Candy.
So Sonnett's starting chips, benching candy, cutting jerky.
Is candy like the gummies? If they're like gummy candy and like not chocolate, then that's cut.
Oh. So Sonnett wants chips. Rose doesn't want jerky. That's what I've
No,
got
I
with these
actually,
snacks.
I
You
I
changed your
actually
mind?
think that. I'm thinking of like a beef stick, and I'm gonna start that because I think there's like very good nutritional value and there's protein in it. So I feel like for a long trip, I would need that. So
Rose.
start, but
I'm really impressed. That was such a great answer.
yeah, so start that.
I'm still starting chips. I'm benching meat stick. What are you benching?
I think I will bench chips and I will cut candy. Unfortunately.
I think we might be the perfect trio because I think I would start candy.
Oh,
Yeah, you can have my
bench
candy.
what?
Ugh, I don't know, guys. Bench chips, cut jerky. I don't know, man.
You're like a walking piece of jerky. I feel like you're like jerky till you die.
I know. I'm going to just go into it like assuming that I've like really eaten a big heavy meal with a lot of meat in it before the trip. Okay, next one. We have a few more. We spent a little bit too long on that.
We
We have a little bit too long on that. Okay, place in the car. Driver, passenger, or laying down in the back seat.
I'm starting driver.
Starting laying down in the back seat.
Same.
I'm gonna bench passenger seat and I'm gonna cut the back seat. Like I get car sick back there.
I'm
so.
cutting driving. I just like get driven. So
Yeah, very good.
yeah.
Okay, cool. That was enough. What about
What are you benching?
She doesn't care. Like we
Okay,
gotta go to the other
sorry.
two. We gotta go to the other two.
I'll text you.
I'll text you mine. We're going to make a pit stop. You can stop diner, scenic vista, or antique store.
So it's diner what?
Scenic vista, scenic overlook,
Okay, thank you.
and an antique store.
Start diner, bench scenic vista, cut antique store.
I'm just gonna go with the same because we're obviously like on the road trip together.
Okay, good. What about destination? You can go to a new city, you can go to the beach, or you can go to the mountains.
I don't do well in the sun, so so cut beach.
Okay.
Cut mountains.
Okay.
Bench mountains. I guess I'll start new city.
I'm gonna start beach and then I'm gonna bench. What is
Okay.
it?
Mountains. It's really hard, like audio game. I wish we had signs for you guys. Okay, let's do 2 more. Entertainment. Do you want to listen to music, listen to a podcast, or play a game?
I'm not listening to a podcast.
Me neither. Nope. No. Except for this one.
Yeah, except for this one. Thank you, Carmax. Except for this one. And what was the other one?
Who cares?
Yeah, I'm gonna binge play a game next.
Last one. Road trip companion, sibling, dog, or your 2 best friends.
Start my 2 best friends.
Yay!
Bench dog.
Honestly, and this is no disrespect to Wilma, but I feel like having a dog on it's like you have to like stop way more.
It's like a different thing. They're panting. They're not happy.
Yeah,
Okay.
like they're not
happy.
They're not having
Yeah.
fun.
I think it's best for the dogs to stay home.
Yeah.
So we're obviously starting each other and benching our siblings, who we love.
Yeah.
Sorry, Christy.
Sorry, Christy. Okay, Rose and Sonnett, that was something else. Thank you for joining me again. I can't wait to see you next week at Citi Field.
Wait. Like I have one. Bench, cut, start. The worst podcast ever. This one, or the live show. Because now it's 3, right?
Okay, so for people who don't know, Sonnett and Rose came on an old episode of our podcast that was snacks, and that podcast episode was horrible, and it literally like broke records for like how many people listen to it, which is hilarious.
We do what we do.
So that one was great. I'm gonna bench it. The live show was hilarious, but she's getting cut because I'm starting this episode because, you know, Carmax.
New beginnings.
New beginnings.
Bench, cut, start, Sonnett, me, Christy.
Start Christy. Bench Sonnett, cut Rose.
You wanted to cut me, though, just so you know. You wanted to cut me, but you're scared of me.
I can't wait to see you both next week at Citi Field in New York City. And thank you again to Carmax. This episode was presented by our friends at Carmax. As the marquee partner of Gotham FC, Carmax is committed to driving the game forward season after season. Carmax wishes Gotham FC good luck in Wednesday's historic match. Want to drive? Carmax.
Thank you, Carmax.
Thank you.